thanks for tuning in to the VyStar Community Corner. I'm your host, Amanda Crawford. We would like to take this moment to share some stories from our community partners. We are looking forward today to having a conversation about the Museum of Science and History. Today in the studio we have Brian Wolfberg with VyStar and we have Bruce Fafard, CEO of MOSH. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What a tumultuous time it has been. The last time we were discussing the MOSH, we were announcing our long-term commitment, and that was, it feels like a long time ago, but it was really only February of 2020. So much has changed since then. Bruce, give us an update. What's been going on with the MOSH and what are some new plans?
Oh, so we have a lot of exciting things happening since that time. We went back and revisited our plans. As you know, we announced what we called MOSH 2.0. Very exciting to expand the museum, focused initially on a current footprint. The board went back and started looking at that as an option and understanding that there were some restrictions, some hurdles that we had to overcome, and eventually determined that it would be a better location for us to be on the North Bank. Now, what drove that? Well, first of all, and probably most important, would be that we would have to close the museum for 2 years.
Wow.
And with over 35,000 items in our collection, that really became an obstacle. In addition to the lost income and the potential impact to our staff, it was just something that we wouldn't be able to do practically. In addition, the current location, very difficult to build resiliency into that site. In fact, there's no way that you're going to raise that building 15 to 17 feet. And the other item is the existing structure. Around 23% of the costs would be in renovating the existing building, getting it ready for expansion, and not even sure if that would cover everything that would have to be done. So when you take all these items into consideration, it was a clear choice that the board made in the summer of 2020 to say, let's move across the river, let's look at a new site, let's build resiliency in, let's create an environment where we can actually use the majority of that 130,000 square feet for a brand new museum. In addition, we get the great opportunity to build a signature building, something that's going to be acknowledged and known throughout the region and perhaps even the entire nation as a brand new museum of science and history.
Amanda, I think what's so exciting is moving from working within the confines of what was going to be MOSH 2.0 on the South Bank and rebranding and relaunching as MOSH Genesis on the North Bank. As Bruce mentioned, building a signature museum is not only important for the Museum of Science and History, but it's important for our community and it's important for downtown Jacksonville. As we look at rebuilding our downtown, the MOSH Genesis plays an important part within the cultural ecosystem that will draw people downtown from here locally and regionally.
You know, Brian, to that point, certainly we want to support what's going on here in Jacksonville. We want to support the downtown. And that was something that came into the decision process as well. We're hoping that by moving the museum across the river, that will also be a catalyst for other organizations and other development in that area.
As we make these connections and work with our partners, it's really the vision is coming together. Bruce, I can't imagine closing down the museum for 2 years. That would just be detrimental to the community. So with the new plans, what does that look like? Are you still having to close a little bit, or how will that operate?
Great question, Amanda. So right now, the way we have our plans laid out is, yes, there will be a short period of time. We're looking at approximately a 3-month shutdown. And that 3-month would be used to actually take and move a lot of our collections across the river. It also would give our curatorial staff and others the ability to set everything up within the museum and get everything operational. But so when you look at the difference between 2 years and approximately 3 months, that's a huge difference and one that we believe is doable.
Yeah, it's absolutely a huge multi-year undertaking to build a new museum of science and history. And there is a price tag to do that, right? But what the individuals at MOSH have done, Bruce and his development director and others, is really put together a plan for a great public-private partnership. And I know as part of that private portion of the donations and contributions, we have helped to launch that. But also they've been working with the city and with other sources of funding, and we're making really good progress on bringing a new museum to downtown Jacksonville. As a credit union, we are based on the principles of people helping people, and our main purpose is to do good. One of our value propositions is to lead by example, and that is why we stepped up early on to make a commitment to MOSH. But when we look at our contributions and sponsorship in the community, one of the main things that we want to do is support community building. Another is youth. When we started talking to MOSH, and they hit on 2 of our main 4 categories for giving in this community, and then you hear the things that Bruce talks about MOSH doing. It is not just opening the doors to the museum each day, having some people come through and closing down. They are educating our youth. They are bringing knowledge and cultural experiences to all individuals across this community. We partner with MOSH on access for military families. I mean, the MOSH is just so much more to this community than I think any of us know, and it's going to be an important part of the rebuilding of this great city.
Again, it goes back to that partnership and that connectivity. You know, it's really, we want to create a vibrant city, and you know, we're here to stay. You know, we're not going anywhere. We hope you aren't going anywhere, and we're going to make that legacy happen as well. You know, you had mentioned being chartered that long ago. Honestly, I mean, we have to think about it. 50 years in one building. I think even like a homeowner would have to say, you know, what really makes more sense at that point. So we understand the move, but how can the community help support this? You know, when, you know, I'm assuming you need to earn, you know, have some money, some donations, some commitments. Obviously, that's what VyStar is here for as well, and trying to come alongside. But you know, how can anyone impact this and be a part of it?
Well, first, let me say unequivocally that we are just so thankful for the partnership with VyStar and the commitment that you guys have made. It really goes a long way to helping us fulfill our mission to create lifelong learners and to focus on science and history here in Jacksonville. And so there's a lot of ways. I mean, other companies, other corporations can get involved. They can contribute to our Project Genesis. They can contribute to operational. We have an endowment. That's also very important. But you see, we're a community institution. We're available and open to everyone here in this community in Northeast Florida. And so there's ways that the entire community can be engaged. We have a wonderful volunteer program. If someone is interested in what our mission is, they can come in and volunteer their time, whether they want to work in the Naturalist Center with animals or they want to help people experience currents of time, the history of Jacksonville. There's a variety of different ways that people can be engaged at that level. In addition, it's not only the larger gifts that really help move the mission forward, but quite frankly, Amanda and Brian, it's the small things that make a big difference. Even a couple dollars helps really fulfill our mission and moves us forward to building this new building.
It's exciting, and you know, the only thing that I would like to beg is if you haven't been to MOSH lately, get out and go. And we are excited to continue to be a partner with it. As you mentioned, Brian, we really want to make sure that we're doing good in the communities where we live and play. And that's really important to us, especially since we're founded here, right here in Jacksonville. So I appreciate both of you guys being here today and sharing with us our partnership.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Amanda. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. And more importantly, I'd like to thank the viewers for watching. Please continue to follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. Until next time, do good.